Hello everybody. Welcome back to My Left Eye. Now, I have seen some scenes in the House of Commons over the years, believe me, but today absolutely took the mickey. In fact, I'm not even sure where to begin in describing the events during the debate and vote for the motion on a ceasefire in Gaza put forward by the Scottish National Party. First and foremost, voting on the bill didn't even take place, and a Labour amendment on the bill passed without a vote as well. This came amidst the Conservative Party walking out of the House of Commons over Lindsay Hoyle, Speaker of the House, deciding under very nefarious circumstances to add Labour's amendment to the votes taking place in the House of Commons, and also included a vote as to whether the House of Commons would sit behind closed doors with cameras switched off and people not being allowed in the public gallery. Where to begin? I'm not exactly sure, but I will do my level best. Here we go. So first of all, you're probably aware that tonight there was supposed to be a vote in the House of Commons on a motion put forward by the Scottish National Party calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Seems perfectly reasonable and straightforward. However, the motion included calling out Israel for its collective punishment on Palestinians, something which has not just been happening since October the 7th, but in the decades before. This has also recently been called out by the United Nations, by the International Court of Justice, and if anything, it is more than clear that Israel is inflicting a collective punishment on Palestinians in Gaza. However, a certain somebody and his Israeli paymasters weren't too keen on the idea of that being mentioned within the motion, and tried to get through an amendment in the most despicable and underhanded fashion imaginable, the likes of which have never been seen in the House of Commons. It's believed that during the debate, Keir Starmer approached Speaker of the House Lindsay Hoyle, who is a Labour Party member, and threatened to withdraw support at the next general election, therefore threatening his very position as Speaker of the House if he did not put through a vote on Labour's amendment which removed the calling out of Israel as inflicting collective punishment on Gazans. This wasn't at all well received by the Scottish National Party or the Conservatives, and chaos ensued. Let's see some of what Lindsay Hoyle had to say for himself, and also how some of the parties reacted to this today in the House of Commons.
This is a highly sensitive subject on which feelings are running high in the House, in the nation and throughout the world. I think it's important on this occasion that the House is able to consider the widest possible range of options. I have therefore decided to select the amendments both in the name of the Prime Minister and in the name of the Leader of the Opposition. Because the operation of standing order number 31 will prevent another amendment from being moved after the government has moved its amendment. That will engage the... Order! I'm going to finish... That will engage the provisions. I can inform the House... Just let me finish. I can inform the House that there is a precedent for an official opposition spokesperson being called second in the debate. I'm moving amendment before... No, we're not. Or does somebody want to leave? I'm determined to finish. Order! Order! You'll be going and not be voting. Well, that's the first one to leave then. If you want to, do it. Now then.
Obviously, I've taken advice from the clerks. This is the SNP's opposition day.
Yep.
And the purpose of an opposition day is for our party to have the ability to put forward our business. Can I ask for your advice, Mr. Speaker, and what is the point of an opposition day if it's going to be done like this?
Can I just say, I think you will want to vote at some point. Clapping isn't going to assist it. Brendan O'Hara, speak. Done. Brendan O'Hara, I'm not taking any more points. More to Mr. Linden. Brendan O'Hara. Order! Can I just say to members, clapping, I have a list. And I can rule who speaks where. So I think we need to hear a debate, not a debating society.
So that's where the chaos began in the House of Commons. Once word had got around as to the circumstances under which Speaker Lindsay Hoyle decided to add Labour's amendment on the ceasefire motion to the vote, chaos ensued in Parliament and he disappeared. He just upped and left. People didn't know where the Speaker of the House had gone. He ran away to hide. As this post in the BBC's running coverage of the vote mentions, SNP and Conservative MPs have walked out of the House of Commons chamber in an apparent protest over the Speaker's handling of the Gaza ceasefire debate. Then things got even more interesting, shall we say, as somebody put forward a motion that the vote should happen in private without the cameras being on and without anybody in the public gallery to see exactly what was happening. This was quickly and firmly rejected in the lobbies. Only 20 MPs voted for that, but that was just one element to this massively chaotic and messed up day in our seat of Parliament. It was then announced that the Labour amendment on the bill would be passed without a vote taking place, the Speaker assuming that with the Scottish National Party and Conservative Party MPs not being in the House to vote on the bill, that it would go through anyway. And this only added another layer to the truly bizarre spectacle of events that happened in the House of Commons this evening. So that was that as far as the debate and the voting, or the not voting as it turned out, on the motions. They then moved on to discuss something else. You can see here throughout the day there were protests outside of the House of Commons with calls for a ceasefire being projected onto Westminster Clock Tower. But I can't recall any time where I've seen scenes like this in Parliament, in the House of Commons. This is obviously completely unprecedented, and it calls into issue the question of wider democracy, not just on the voting on a ceasefire in Gaza, but with scenes like this that happen today. Can we really believe that we have real and true democracy in this country? It looks as though Starmer's got on his way. He's turned the attention away from the motion the SNP were trying to put forward and tried to make it all about him. In fact, Pete Wishart from the SNP said that he was appalled and horrified. Went on to say the debate was hijacked by the Labour Party and that observers would be disgusted at what they've seen. This was a day that deserved and required some serious attention, and what they got was an absolute circus. He said he'd never seen anything like it in his time as a Member of Parliament. He says he's been through Iraq, through the whole dramas when it came to the independence referendum, through Brexit, and there has never been a day quite like this. But what do you think about this? I'd love to know your thoughts, not just on the debate over the ceasefire in Gaza, but also the broader democratic issue that's been raised today and how the Speaker of the House can be influenced by Keir Starmer, for example. Just wanted to say it's been great to get so many new subscribers recently. If you're new to the channel, you're very welcome here. Thanks a lot for your comments on some of the videos we've done lately. If you've not checked out some of our other content, please do so. You can see one of our videos right now in the bottom left hand corner of your screen. Well, until next time, take care everyone. We'll see you soon on my left eye.